can do is just tell the truth and trust in the American people that over time they're going to know what the truth is.
Yes, it is time for the truth. Right here, right now. This is the Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives. With your host, John Matthews.
The latter-day prophet. Baying against the hypocrisies of our time.
And Joe Hakos.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
The Conservative Syndicate is comprised of some of the most informed pundits and activists available today. Together, we seek to tear down the imaginary wall, a separation between church and state through education, information, and engagement on the religion of politics and the politics of religion. And now, your host on the globally syndicated Conservative Syndicate, John Matthews and Joe Hakos.
Hey, how we doing out there tonight all across this great land and around the world? It's that time for the Conservative Syndicate, coming to you live right now, coast to coast and around the world. We're somewhere all the time. It's prime time. We're glad to have you with us today. And I just have to apologize. If you tuned in yesterday to catch a live show, you may or may not have realized it was a replay from the day before. Just had a little bit of an accident out there trying to renew or relive my years as a jock and injured my leg and had to go down for an x-ray. But we're back raring, ready to go here today, loaded for bear. And let me just start off by just mentioning something here. We're dealing now with another opportunity for Donald Trump to either do one of two things: continue to put his foot in his mouth, or grab an opportunity, just a golden opportunity given to him on a platter. And I've yet to really see him capitalize on it yet. I may be just a little bit behind. I don't know if he's got a rally today or not. Maybe that's not why we're not hearing anything. But the appearance of the shooter down in the guy, what was the name? Oh God, I don't remember his name. The guy that shot up the gay bar down in Florida. His father showed up at a Clinton rally and just miraculously or somehow ended up in that inner circle that gets to sit behind the speaker. The backdrop, what I call the human shields. And we're going to talk about that some today. We've got Audrey Russo from Real Talk Radio coming on and do her weekly segment. So having said that, get my partner in crime in here online with us here. Joe, how are you doing today?
I haven't been able to get behind Hillary Clinton like Mateen did. But, maybe if I try to run for president of Afghanistan or, just got somebody to go out and try to shoot up a gay bar somewhere, maybe then that's what it will take. Unbelievable that she won't do anything. And just the absolutely fabulous media we have out there that's just unbiased as all get out wants to talk about Donald Trump's trying to promote gun violence against Hillary Clinton. Yeah, okay, sure. Let's get real, people. This is just unbelievable stupidity and more of the same. And, gee, we should just... Oh, everybody fall in line. Yes, Donald's an idiot, and Hillary's so wonderful. Her staff and the Secret Service let the father of this terrorist just a few weeks ago shut up the gay bar in Orlando. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
How brilliant are they? And let's let her run the freaking country. Yeah, that sounds like absolute. What a plan. Yes, because you know what? Hillary is so awesome. Hillary's the best.
Everyday Americans need a champion, and I want to be that champion.
Yes, let her be my champion. Hold on, I got to throw up a little bit.
Well, it was funny. I caught a little bit the late night last night. By the time I got back from down at the hospital and stuff and got home and got settled and everything, out here, I don't know what they do on the East Coast, but out here, Megyn Kelly comes on at like 6 o'clock here, which is about, 9 o'clock on the East Coast. But later on, I think about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in that time period somewhere, I know it was somewhere in there, they replay the shows for the day. They replay, I think what they do is they play Bill O'Reilly, Megyn Kelly, Sean Hannity, and then they replay them.
Yeah, it usually starts at about 11 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah, okay. And so I happened to catch, and I guess Megyn Kelly and some of the other people at Fox News are all on vacation right now. So they had a sit-in commentator. I don't know what her name is. I don't pay that close attention to these people to even know who they are. But they were talking about this father of this terrorist showing up at the Clinton rally. And they had three people on there all commenting about what it was about and was it good, was it bad optics. That's the new buzzword now. We don't want to say anymore, well, it just looks bad or it presents the wrong image or something. No, they just say, well, it was bad optics. You know, they like to sound pseudo-intellectual. But anyway, the girl that's a spokesperson for Donald Trump, Christine Peterson, I think her name is, or well, I can't remember. Oh, Katrina Pearson. I'm sorry. Katrina Pearson is her name. And she's the one that shows up on Fox News most of the time and most of the time on CNN. And she's basically the one that goes out there and tries to do the damage control. Whatever the latest gaffe by Donald Trump is, she goes out there and tries to fix it for him, you know. And so they were, you know, the Democrat representative, they had some spokeshole out there that was talking. And anyway, it was this whole idea that, you know, it was how quick, you know, it's just amazing me how quick the media seizes on things. I listened to the quote. Let me put it this way. I listened to Donald Trump, what he said, and nowhere in my wildest imagination did I sense that he was inciting violence.
Hell no. He was talking about Second Amendment voters.
He was talking about this group of people.
He's just like he'd be talking to people that are pro-life voters.
Yeah. It would say, like, you know, you pro-lifers could do something about the abortion issue, you know, as Supreme Court justice, because that was the context of it. The context was if she gets a Supreme Court justice that she wants, they're going to come after the Second Amendment, you know, and we won't be able to do anything about that. But, you know, maybe the Second Amenders, the people could do something. And I immediately just related it to, he's talking about get up and vote. You know, I just, you know, let's get out there and let's stop this, that kind of thing.
Get out and vote. Absolutely.
Yeah. So anyway, the thing was, Katrina Pearson, her rebuttal was, she said, you know, in the DNC email leaks that have been coming out over the last couple of weeks. I was
just going to mention that. This is part of their game plan.
Yeah, she said there was a PowerPoint presentation that's been handed out to everybody, and it has all the talking points. And slide number 6, she even pointed out, she goes, if you look at slide number 6, I've actually been trying to find it, but I haven't been able to find it yet, but I will. And she says, if you look at PowerPoint slide number 6, this is the exact talking points, you know, that they will perpetrate. Anytime you can make it sound like somebody's, you know, promoting or condoning violence, this is what you do, and this is how you do it. And so I thought, just at the, you know, spur of the moment, I said, you know what? Let me switch over to CNN and let me see what's going on over there. So I hit over to CNN, and I'll be damned if they weren't reciting it almost verbatim.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this is what it is. This is just, you know, I guess the question for me is why Donald Trump, knowing this, why doesn't he do something? Why doesn't he set them up the way that they set him up? You know, it's like, instead of just getting out there and being this bombastically arrogant guy, why don't you set a trap for them? Why don't you say something that will, because their base is not going to catch it. I mean, they get caught in traps all the time, and they just deny it. You know, that's what the Clinton campaign did. Oh, we didn't know the guy was there. You know, the Secret Service people said we vet everybody the same way, and it comes out that what happens is, I guess these people get their love letters or emails or whatever, and they RSVP, and all they ask for is their name. And I'm like, well, geez, nobody recognized the guy's name? You know, it's like, if that's all you're looking for, it's so. But I'm damn sure that what the issue here is, and should be being, I mean, it should be just reverberating off everybody's lips on from the GOP side, is that, hey, this guy wants Hillary Clinton because Hillary Clinton supports a platform and an agenda and policies that allow terrorists to come into the country. That should be the argument. And that's all you have to talk about. You don't have to talk about all the other stuff. You don't have to talk about. And I'm wondering, where's the outrage from the homosexual community? Why aren't we hearing anything from them? You know, what's the deal there? Have they all been sequestered?
Well, for one, John, the media that these people watch is not covering this.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right there.
Not showing this. This is not on MSNBC or CNN. None of this stuff's going to be on there. They are not putting this on there. They're talking about Donald Trump inciting violence against Hillary Clinton. So that's what they're doing. That's what they're talking about.
Yeah, but I mean, you would think even as something like Huffington Post has a column.
They're not doing it either. They're not going to show this either. They're all in the tank, brother.
Well, what I mean is they've got a whole section in their blog called the Queer Corner. Okay, they call it that. I'm not calling it that. That's what they call it, the Queer Corner.
I'm telling you, this would be a bad thing for Hillary Clinton, so they're not going to cover it.
Yeah, I we expect this from the Clinton campaign. We expect them to deny. We expect them to spin. That kind of thing. And I've got more comments about that. We got to go to break here in just a second. But the point being is, I'm wondering where the outrage is from the homosexual community. Why aren't you people out there right now carrying your I guess nobody got down to the print shop to get these things mass produced. You know, the Hillary Clinton is a terrorist supporter or whatever. You tie this in with the revelations about Bill Clinton receiving money through the Clinton Foundation from supporters of ISIS and supporters of Sharia law. And nobody's saying about that. I guess nobody put in that order for those pre-printed signs that they have, from the spontaneous riots that they always have, that kind of thing. Anyway, we got to go to break. When we come back, we'll have Audrey Russo from Real Talk Radio with us, and we'll have her chime in with what she thinks about what's going on. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. Boy, this word community is getting in my brain. I'm going to have a brain wash or something. Everything is community. You're listening to the Conservative Syndicate. We'll be right back.
A healthy attitude toward human politics will be relentlessly cynical. Consider us health food for the heart, mind, and soul. TheConservativeSyndicate.net. Real conservative talk from real conservatives.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. Then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-790-5960. That's 1-800-790-5960. Again, 1-800-790-5960. Call now.
Limited time offer, 24-month commitment and credit qualification require cancellation fee, auto pay, and paperless billing and other restrictions apply. If you can't see the difference, why pay the difference? Switch to Dish for the best deal in entertainment. Only Dish brings you the best in entertainment for less than $20 a month. Cut the cable and don't get directed. Switch to Dish because at just $19.99, Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. It's so simple. The same channels cost less with Dish. So since you can't see the difference, don't pay the difference. Switch to Dish for the best deal in entertainment. Get premium movie channels free for 3 months, starting at just $19.99. Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. Call now to save with Dish. Dial 1-800-600-1645. That's 1-800-600-1645. The same channels for less than $20 a month. Dish. Call 1-800-600-1645 for details.
Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosolive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosolive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did.
Read something recently worth thinking about. It's the soldier, not the campus organizer, who's given us freedom to demonstrate. It's the soldier, not the reporter, who's given us freedom of the press. It's the soldier, not the poet, who's given us freedom of speech. It's the soldier who serves under the flag, who defends the protesters' right to burn the flag. Isn't it time now to demonstrate that we support our troops? Were it not for the brave, there'd be no land of the free.
Fred Thompson's message was brought to you by citizensunited.org.
Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives. I'm your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos. And we have with us Audrey Russo from Real Talk Radio doing her weekly segment with us. And how are you doing this afternoon or evening, I guess in your case, Audrey?
Yeah, it's after 6 here. Yeah, I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Oh, real good. How about, I was going to say, how about you, Joe? But I already know how Joe's doing.
I'm just doing great. Yeah. I'm here.
I don't know. I think I'm having a brain freeze over the last couple of days. I don't know what I'm more upset with is what's happening on the left, or Donald Trump's inability to capitalize on some of this stuff and allow himself to fall in this trap of majoring in the minors. We got this situation where, everybody's making a big deal about this Second Amendment comment as if he's out there inciting everybody to pick up your guns and then march against Washington or at least take out Clinton in the process or whatever. But, it's amazing to me. Don't you think, Audrey, it's amazing how quickly they can take something and spin it into something just out there. I mean, this is one of those comments that you have to really be demented.
Yes.
To hear something like that and think, huh?
You just described the left. They are demented. That's when you cling to liberalism long enough. That's what you have. Yeah, you know what it is they know how defective their candidate is, so they have to be on him like white on rice. Look, that was absurd. The way they misconstrued that. Everybody knew what he was saying, and and he's not a politician. So even if he jokes around, they're going to take it. Oh, he just said something about assassination. Well, Hillary Clinton did too when she was running against Barack Obama.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because she went ahead and said...
She actually said the word assassination. Yeah,
she actually said, Robert Kennedy was assassinated in June.
Yeah.
Well, something I heard on the radio today. I was in the car a long time this morning. I got to listen to almost an hour and a half of Limbaugh, and one of the things he mentioned, which nobody is bringing back to memory here, as in 2006, there was a movie made over in England about the assassination of George W. Bush, which, by the way, won 6 awards within the movie entertainment industry. And there was a book that was written also from somebody over there about the, it was kind of like a fiction novel or something, but it was about assassinating George W. Bush. Nobody said anything about that. No, there was no outrage over here about talking about assassinating presidents, when they were talking about Bush.
Right. But of course we know, but they're showing how first of all, that they have no sense of humor, and second of all, that they are willing to twist anything. That's how bad their candidate is. They have to jump on something. And basically what they're doing now is these are all fables. These are all tales. Anything they tell about him is contorted, or it's a fable. Anything that they say about him, you can't, because look at their candidate. More and more is being revealed about the corruption of this woman.
Yeah, and it's one of the things that I was hearing throughout the course of today, through the different outlets that I go to. There are a couple of things out there. One is really bizarre, but one is very understandable, and that is the idea here that they go out there. I think it was Katrina Pearson, spokesperson for the Trump campaign, talking about how what they do here is they have an actual PowerPoint slide. I guess she got her hands on it through one of the DNC email hacks, and she said if you look at PowerPoint slide number 6. You'll see that it's a talking points, and they disseminate this PowerPoint slide to all the people that will be dealing with the media, so that everybody knows what to do in any given situation and what to say. And she said, go to PowerPoint slide number 6, and you'll find everything that they're talking about now in terms of what Donald Trump said. And so I was telling Joe, I saw this on a rerun of Megyn Kelly late last night, and so I said, I'm going to switch over to CNN. I switched over to CNN, and I'll be damned, that's what they were doing. It was like almost verbatim going down this talking point. And I'm like, wow. And nobody, it's like they don't even care anymore if they get found out. That's what I think just boggles my mind. They're not hiding anything anymore, and they don't care how stupid they sound anymore. I mean, is their base really that stupid?
Yeah, they are. And they have outed themselves. We don't even have to out them as being biased. They're outing themselves because we have the alternative media. We're able to find out all the facts. Unfortunately, we have to do all the work ourselves now because they won't do it. And they decide what you're going to hear. And since by their own admission, 90 plus percentile of the major media are left. Well, look at this on his economic speech that he gave the other day. They spent, I think it was CNN spent 33 seconds on it. The rest of the time they spent on, he was inciting violence. You're a schmuck. Come on, really?
Yeah, we got Black Lives Matter out there talking about organizing to actually create an organization that will target cops. I was listening to this earlier. I'll have to look up the guy's name here, but I just going through cyberspace this morning, just surfing through and just catching headlines and reading the first 2 or 3 paragraphs just to get kind of a context. And there's an actual group out there that claims they're associated with Black Lives Matter, but they're actually in the process of trying to decide how they're going to conspire against cops. And this is being punched out in the public arena. Nobody seems to give a damn about it. I'm digressing here. Let me get back on my topic here. The thing that got me on this, along with we got this Second Amendment thing going on with Donald Trump, and on the other side here we got the terrorist father showing up at a Clinton rally. Yeah. And the Clinton campaign basically comes out and says, we didn't know he was there. Okay.
Yes, they did.
Okay, we didn't know he was there, and that's how the media just kind of explains it away, and you're not hearing a whole lot about it, right? My thing is, let me put this before you, Audrey. Why was not the same lack of diligence given when David Duke endorsed Donald Trump, and Donald Trump said, "I don't even know who the guy is"?
Because Donald Trump's a Republican and Hillary Clinton's a Democrat. Was that? That's why.
Yeah, I mean, he goes, I don't even know who this guy is, and I wouldn't take that as not, as a lie, because like you said, the guy's not that involved in politics. What he wants to know is
it's not a politician. He's not a politician. Period. He does whatever he did in business, what anyone that's in big business does. They give to both sides. Why?
Right,
because their major importance to them is their business, period.
Yeah.
So that's why they give to both the Democrats and the Republicans. I understand that. Do I agree with it? No, but that's what they do. That's a fact.
Well, I think right now he's got a guy that's applying for a window washer's job for Trump Tower.
Yeah, well, the kid's a little bit of a putz. I mean, he's now endangering cops. I don't think he's going to be up there very long. Why they didn't get him, just nab him, or somebody didn't call when he was on the ground, because he's taking a heck of a long time making his way up with the suction cups. But the last that I saw was that the cops were about maybe 3 flights above him, and they took a ginormous window out, so they're standing there waiting for him to come up.
Just waiting for him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if he knows they're there, and it is so hot and humid in the city. But he's from Virginia. That's supposedly this kid's supposed to be from Virginia.
Well, there's some real intelligence for you, huh?
Yeah,
you're climbing up the side of a building and you don't notice that they've removed a big window and standing there waiting for you.
Well, he wasn't too bright in the first place for doing this.
But anyway, yeah, this is the ridiculous, and as we said before, the media is in cahoots here. We know from the DNC emails that they have an effect on the media buzz for the day, the week, whatever, because they go ahead and they collude with each other.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's one of the other fascinating things I heard today, and I'm not going to put a whole lot of weight on it, but the fact that it came out of Limbaugh's mouth kind of shocked me a little bit. That there is rumors going around through the GOP that they are actually going to try to barter with Hillary Clinton and basically pull any and all support for Donald Trump at all. I mean, not that they have a whole lot now, but they're basically saying we're willing to concede the election to Hillary Clinton as long as you give us the Supreme Court justice that we want.
Well, it's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. And I wouldn't be surprised, but they are foolish in the first place. They are foolish. And we should have seen the end of the GOP as we've known it. Anyway, they're like cutting their nose to spite their face, because they will lose not only the Senate, but they'll end up losing the House. Because if they think the people are that stupid, if they think the constituents are that stupid that we don't know what they're doing and that we're not going to know that they made this kind of deal, today it doesn't matter what closed door you do it behind or what server you do it on. We find out, don't we?
Well, you find out, but you look at what happened with Paul Ryan just yesterday. The power incumbency is just massive, and they reelected his butt.
But I have to tell you that I don't think that Nealon was out there long enough, because Dave Bratt, he's brilliant. He had nothing. He had no money, and he wasn't in politics. But they got his name out there for a long time. This guy, his name wasn't out there long enough. He didn't have name recognition. Ryan did. That was more the problem than anything else. But the people there, it's a shame that they are so well. I won't say, but
Jeep.
Yeah, well, that's it, because what it looks like is that they weren't caring about, the majority weren't caring about the country itself. They were just caring about whatever he was whispering in their ears, that, the ear tickler, I'm going to take care of this. Look what I did for you. It doesn't matter. You're supposed to be serving us. Yeah. If that's your guy, he's supposed to be serving you, but it seems that they only serve you when it's election time.
Right.
Yeah. A couple days before for the election day, and you're out there waving your pocket constitution like somebody at the DNC convention.
Yeah. Who believes Sharia law.
Yeah. We're getting ready to go to a break here in about a minute or so, but I wanted to pose a question. You said something, Audrey, that has kind of pricked my ears up here. And that is, the GOP as we know it is dead. And I'm beginning to think that the GOP as we've known it has been dead for quite a while. This isn't something that just happened with the immaculation of Barack Obama. This is something that's been probably really kicked into high gear during the Bush administration, to be honest with you. I think that's probably where it really started. I listen to people like Karl Rove and stuff, operatives for the Bush people, and I can't help but think. I think one of the mistakes we're making as the electorate is that we're sitting out here still trying to frame this whole thing within the concept that we elect officials and the officials are supposed to do what we elect them to do. And that seems to have gone the wayside completely. And I think that's what would lend to me some credence that the GOP would be willing to concede the presidency in order to maintain some type of majority in Congress to protect these special interests that fund everything that goes on with the establishment types. And so I think where we're at here is that Congress really in and of itself is irrelevant. Not just the party, but the whole setup, because the establishment people are saying, we don't care who's in the White House, because as you said, we play both ends anyways, and that's what they're trying to protect. So I want to give you time to ponder that statement, and we'll get your comments on it when we get back. We have Audrey Russo with us from Real Talk Radio. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. Don't go.
State Talk Radio, WRS Cleveland.
Hey, I'll make you a deal. Give me 60 seconds and I'll give you directions to the Fountain of Youth. Okay, I'm joking. Well, kind of joking. No fountains, but youth, I got. Nature's Youth and their premier anti-aging product, Nature's Youth RSF. With your sensible diet and exercise plan, Nature's Youth RSF can help you look and feel better. RSF is an all-natural amino acid supplement that supports your body to naturally increase HGH levels without any synthetic hormones. And elevated HGH levels can contribute to increased energy, improved libido, reduced body fat, and improved exercise capacity. Let's be honest, who doesn't want to look and feel younger? Visit the newly designed website at naturesyouth.com or call 800-333-6923. That's 800-333-6923 and like them on Facebook and you'll be included in contest and exclusive offers. What a deal. Oh, speaking of deals, my time's about up. 800-333-6923 or naturesyouth.com. Who needs a fountain anyway? Call today.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
When I had a heart attack at 42, I was not sure what the future held. But a year later, the doctors could find nothing wrong with me and took me off all my medication. What did I do? I took a herbal mixture of garlic, cayenne, and a few other herbs mixed in liquid form. I now call this Extendovite. I would have never believed that a few simple herbs could actually change my life like they did. Now it's your turn to see what the powers of garlic and cayenne can do for you. For only $69.95 plus shipping and handling for a 2-month supply of either capsules or liquid, you too can begin on your path to better health. For more information, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
I've owned my company for 14 years now, and I can tell you that payroll is a 4-letter word. I hate doing it. It eats up hours I don't have, and it costs me money I could be saving. But my accountant's too expensive, and I'm not sure who to call, but I know I need help.
We're Paychex, and we take all the hassles out of small business payroll. We save you time and money. It's easy. Call, fax, or give us your payroll information securely online, and we take care of the rest. We calculate the correct taxes, manage payments and direct deposits. We even send out your checks. Payroll doesn't need to be a 4-letter word anymore. We're so sure that we can save you time and money that we'll give you a month's payroll free. Just for calling 877-663-3830. Get 1 month's payroll for free. Call Paychex right now. 877-663-3830. That's 877-663-3830.
Hey, I don't back anybody unless I believe in them. And I do believe in the value of investing in gold and silver. And the company I trust to buy my gold and silver from is Swiss America. I've been working with them for nearly a decade. I trust them, and you can too. Swiss America will help you sort through and find the best options available when you're considering investing in gold and silver coins. Listen, for over 30 years, Swiss America has been offering Americans what they want in their investments: safety, liquidity, quality, reliability, and a potential profit. Gold and silver have a place in every investor's portfolio. So, why not let Swiss America help you diversify your investment portfolio now? Call now for free information. 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907.
Hey, Bugsy, you hear the news about Vinny?
Yeah, it's a real shame he owed money to the IRS and they finally cut up with him.
Just like Al Capone.
If the IRS can get to Capone, imagine what they can do to little old Vinny, huh?
Poor cat, he was on top of the world, then bada boom, bada bing.
What Vinny needs now is an offer he can't refuse.
Hey, you got a tax problem? Does the IRS claim you owe them a bunch of dough? They can get you too. So call the tax relief line now and learn if you qualify to negotiate your $10,000 plus IRS tax debt for up to a 75% savings. Don't be like Al or Vinny and get busted. Make this free call now. Learn how you may be able to pay the IRS less.
Call now. 866-657-8474. 866-657-8474. 866-657-8474. 866-657-8474.
All right, hey, we're back, and you're listening to the Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives. I'm your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos, and we've got Audrey Russo with us from Real Talk Radio doing her weekly contribution. And I left this comment here at the break here. I'm going to kind of try to rephrase it because I have such a tendency of using too many words to try to get to where I want to go. It's just a bad habit of mine.
It's one of mine. Go ahead.
Well, I've been writing a book, and I put some of the chapters out to people that I know to read. And one of the comments, one of the ladies came back and said, she said, you write like you talk. And I'm like, well, how else would I do that? I guess there's supposed to be a different structure when you write a book or whatever, but I can't do that. I'm not like that. Anyway, the question, or what Joe and I have come to the conclusion, and Joe has coined the phrase, which I just love. I'm trying to figure out how to really capitalize on this phrase that he's created. It's no longer Democrats versus Republicans. It's now nationalists versus globalists. And when we look at the situation right now, especially the collusion that's going on between the Republican and the Democrat Party in regards to trying to destroy Trump, it seems obvious to me that there's no longer a real Congress any more than there's any two-party system. It's all basically one special interest group and an establishment, but the establishment on either side. So it doesn't really matter who wins or controls Congress. It just matters on how one specific faction of this establishment is pandered to by one side of the aisle or the other. I don't even call it the political aisles anymore. It's the political asylum. One side of the asylum or the other. And it's like, okay, what special interest needs something? And that's really what all the debates are about, and the voting and everything else. How do you see? Did you see that correlation?
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, a lot of this can be remedied if we're able to have a national referendum on something, on term limits. This is the problem. They embed themselves there. This wasn't the founders' design for this country. Congress, they were supposed to serve, one term and leave. Mm-hmm. Imagine that, right? Go back to your job. It was supposed to be a revolving door so that the people were serving. Then because they knew what would happen. They knew exactly what would happen, and we're seeing what would happen. What they do is establish themselves, embed themselves. They use our money to what? To buy votes. How do they buy votes? Well, they use the money, of course, we know, with their constituency, especially close to elections, and they find out how they can, anyone that's going to speak up that needs something is going to make sure they go out and vote for them and get others to vote for them. So they always remind you what they did with your money to help you. And you keep them in office. And this is exactly what happens. And they can't do that if there's term limits. Now, you know as well as I do that there's no way on this earth that the Congress will ever vote in favor of. That's like saying, you know what, I'm going to vote that, I want to lose my job, okay, after I'm finished with my term. I don't want to be able to be reelected. You think they're going to do that? This is their career.
Yeah, well, I think it's even more damning, the idea that we had a constitutional amendment that limits the number of terms a president can serve, but never had one to limit the number of terms that a senator or House of Representatives could serve. So it kind of is just in that light saying, well, I guess they just figured, oh, we don't care how long the president's there. We just care how long we're here, you know.
Well, of course, because what job do you know where you can vote yourself a raise and know that you're going to get it, okay? Yeah. And have Cadillac insurance and have a pension out the wazoo. So you tell me they're taking our money and they're doing this for themselves. They are not. What we need is servant leaders. We do not have them. They are serving themselves, and then they take our money and tickle our ear with it when it comes time for re-election. The thing that disturbs me the most is the Senate, because the Senate is 6 years. That's a way long time to be up there and embed yourself. And I know that legislation is a long process with debate and blah, blah, blah. But honestly, they are there for a heck of a long time, and they only start being in touch with the people again when it's time to get reelected. And then suddenly they're your pal. They're going to help you out. But of course, remember again, they're using your money to do it, not your own.
Yeah, and I think the same thing should apply to Supreme Court justices.
Yes.
We've talked about it a couple times in this show. I don't think that Supreme Court justices should be appointed by a president.
There's nothing in the Constitution that says they need to be in there for life.
Yeah, and so, when we talk about this idea that we've got supposedly on the right, from the Republican Party, there's like 5 constitutional amendments they want. The left, I think it's like 2 or 3, and it's all about Citizens United for some God knows what reason. But the whole idea here that we're floating all these constitutional amendment ideas out there, which we know are just nothing more than fodder anyways. It's not that they really want anything. It's that it allows their base, it looks like they really give a damn on about what's going on, and the base goes, yeah, rah. But there's no intent there. And you would think that, hey, if you want to talk about immigration reform and you want to talk about all these other reforms and everything else that they're talking about, campaign finance reform, maybe the answer is just term limits. If we had a constitutional amendment that set term limits for Congress and the Senate, and boy, you wouldn't have all this other stuff going on. You wouldn't have all these special interests out there saying, hey, let's spend $50 million so that we can make 8 gazillion back or something like that, It wouldn't work.
Right, or set yourself up for a lobbying position afterwards with 6 or 7 figures like Cantor got. But they won't do it because we're telling them. You know what I mean? That's why I say a referendum. Let the people vote on it, and I'll tell you, the people will vote for term limits.
Yeah. You need a convention of states to be able to do that.
Yes.
And we talked about that before. And one of the things that needs to be done would be to repeal the 17th Amendment. Get it back, get the Senate back to where it was supposed to be, more closer to the state that puts them there.
Right. Yeah, we need to do away with electing senators. They need to go back to appointment by state legislators. That would definitely give the states some leverage to get back into the original design of this thing, that the states have the right and the say as to what's going on.
I think that they should be closer to home. I don't think they should spend so much time on Capitol Hill. I think they need to be with their constituents more of the time during the year. And that would keep them in line as well.
Yeah, maybe.
You would think it would keep them in line. Most definitely would keep them in line if they were beholden to the state legislature and not K Street up in D.C. It'd definitely they'd be much better off. And to say the least, to make that happen would be, again, they're not going to do it themselves. There's no way they're ever going to do it themselves.
Of course not. Yeah. So that's why we have to do it. And there has to be a way for us to do that, because this is going to continue. I mean, what you were saying about them making deals, sure, because we're not there. They are there. And the constituents, the American people, cannot see what they're doing. They play golf with each other, and they go to parties, and then they're really going to do things in our favor. I mean, how stupid are we?
Yeah. But do you have any idea, because I like the I like what you're saying. Do you have any idea how we would go? How would the electorate go about doing this? How would we have to create another foundation or some grassroots movement and say, okay, we are going to force a referendum or something like that on Congress?
You'd have to get governors to sign up for this and state legislatures to do it.
Okay, well
that's how?
That's really difficult because most of these governors want to be president.
Yeah, sure. Or they want to get into the Senate, or they want to get into Congress somehow. I don't know if, and I'm guessing that Joe, you already looked into this, and because I'm willing to look into it because I've had it.
Yeah, I mean, our friend Don Dix is already way involved with this. He's one of our folks that come on all the time, and they're way involved in the Convention of States and trying to get this thing taken care of. That's how it's going to happen. It's going to happen from the states up to D.C., not the other way around.
Right. Well, yeah, I guess what we would have to do, we would have to start with that. We would have to say some type of constitutional convention to repeal the 17th Amendment and put that power back into the hands of the states. And then with that leverage, we can now say, okay, now we're going to appoint senators and they're going to serve 1 6-year term or whatever it is that they decide on.
35 states to agree to even allow it to happen.
Yeah. I guess that would
be possible if the GOP is pulling crap again, and that we have to, and we're going to find out about it. You can be sure of that. That will be it. That will be enough for people to say, okay, we've had it. We're done.
Yeah.
And I believe that he would have done that. I believe that he would try to make it. Remember, he was, kissy faced with Obama too. So I have no reason to believe that, because I'm sure Ryan is setting himself up just like Cantor did. And I kept saying I was pleading with the people in Wisconsin, please, Cantor this guy out.
Yeah.
And unfortunately they didn't do it.
Yeah. Well, and again, those are the people that will try to tell you that it's everybody else is the problem, not their guy. Not their guy. It's everybody else. The Gruber theorem, as I like to call it. The stupidity of the American voter. We got to go to a quick break here. We'll be right back with Audrey Russo from Real Talk Radio. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate.
A healthy attitude toward human politics will be relentlessly cynical. Consider us health food for the heart, mind, and soul. TheConservativeSyndicate.net. Real conservative talk from real conservatives. Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosolive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosolive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did.
Read something recently worth thinking about. It's the soldier, not the campus organizer, who's given us freedom to demonstrate. It's the soldier, not the reporter, who's given us freedom of the press. It's the soldier, not the poet, who's given us freedom of speech. It's the soldier who serves under the flag, who defends the protesters' right to burn the flag. Isn't it time now to demonstrate that we support our troops? Were it not for the brave, there'd be no land of the free.
Fred Thompson's message was brought to you by citizensunited.org.
Hey, we're back, and you're listening to the Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives. We want to encourage you, take a moment out of your day, and maybe over the weekend. That's the best time to do it. Visit our website, theconservativesyndicate.net. You can pick up this show, any of our archives, anything we've aired is there on our website, theconservativesyndicate.net. You know, I'm just sitting here. During the break here, I'm watching a video here of Hillary Clinton out there commenting on Donald Trump's comments. Okay, and I want to ask you something about this, Audrey. This is, everything with Clintons are staged. The whole 9 yards. When she comes out, everything else. And one of the things I've noticed with this woman, have you ever noticed when she comes out on the stage, she has a tendency to, like, she's pointing to people in the crowd, like she's picking somebody out and waving to them and giving them a thumbs up, like, I know who that person is, or this, that, and the other.
Right.
And I got to wonder if there's what it is that somebody's standing out there with a flash card that says, look over here, like the teleprompter kind of thing, but, staging the action like, she's so in tune with all these people in the crowd.
Everything is staged with her. You nailed it. Everything is staged. This woman she's psychotic. She doesn't have personal relationships. This woman, you can tell, she doesn't know how to relate to people. It's a bizarre thing. So they have to try to make her more, human. So in order to do that, they told her, you point to somebody in the crowd and thumbs up and sudden wave, because there ain't nobody out there that she's waving to. It's probably in her own mind anyway.
All 38 people.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I think it was 37. But go ahead.
Well, I noticed something yesterday. See, Joe says things to me sometimes on the air here, and he may think that they just go in one ear and out the other. But I paid attention to something he said the other day about the number of people showing up at Clinton rallies. And I was looking at this, the video of her talking the other day. It was just like the day before yesterday, whatever. And, it was the rally that the terrorist father was at, okay? And, the Democrats like to use what I call human shields. They put the people behind them. Like we don't have room for everybody out there, so we have to put them up on the stage with us or whatever.
Exactly.
Okay. And I noticed as the camera was, there was panning around, and the camera, because it was on, it kind of put that little white circle around the guy, so that you can see him. It's kind of like a spotlight kind of thing, the camera's panning, and all of a sudden you see the little white circle zoom in like a little spotlight pointing to the father of the terrorist out there. And I happened to catch, there was like a 5-second pan of the audience, and you could see that in the background behind the last row of people that they'd actually put up barriers, like walls, to make it look like it was the back of the room. But the bleachers were only about 5 or 6 seats, rows in them, So it's like that. It looked like to me like you're not looking at the back of an arena that's got 5,000 people at it. You're looking at the front row of an arena that has a wall up behind it. And it's like maybe 5 or 6 rows. It's like the Twilight
Zone, We're seeing the media colluding with the thieves, Hillary and Bill Clinton. Well, he's more than just that, but the two of them are thieves incorporated. And you have them colluding together, making the people who are busy, trying to pay their taxes since they're so high, they're distracted, massively distracted in this country, and they're trying to make you think that she's doing great and that she has more people. They don't look at how many people come out to the Trump rallies.
Right.
I mean, it's immense. I mean, they've never seen anything like that. The Republican Party is going to have a real problem, because if they try to make any deals with Hillary and they undermine, it's going to be found out.
Yeah.
Because they better not be so sure that the people they're working with are not loyal, because they may not be, and they'll be whistleblowers. And these people will lose their careers, because they're not supposed to be careers, but they will lose them.
How's the saying go? There's no honor among thieves.
Exactly. So why would they make a deal with her? She is a pathological liar. Why would they make a deal with a liar? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, I'm a schmuck. Okay?
Yeah. I like the Jewish rendition of that, Audrey.
Sorry.
To actively go against your nominee, though, and so they give us Donald Trump, and when these are the same people that stood there 8 years ago said, "Vote for McCain, trust us," and then 4 years ago, "Vote for Romney, trust us," and now they're going to go ahead and out there and they're going to give us Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, well,
that's the death knell of this party. I'll tell you that right now. There are going to be people leaving in droves.
Oh my gosh, they have no idea what's in store for them. They will get the boot before time. People will start recalling these people. They think that we're all idiots out here. They really do.
Yeah.
Ryan better not be fooled by that. What happened at that election yesterday?
Yeah, that 60-point victory of his.
Yeah.
Well, I was, I'm just thinking that there's at least 40% of the people out there that are fools. I mean, they'll go with it. Mitt Romney wasn't too far off when he said, his 47% comment that supposedly sunk him or whatever. But I think there's enough people out there. But what I'm seeing, what I think this time is going to happen is that, the fools. I don't think the fools are going to show up this time. I don't think that the Democrats are going to have the turnout that they think they're going to have. And I think it's pretty obvious the fact that they're pandering to even the Muslim vote now. It's like, okay, they're not going to get the black vote the way Barack Obama did. So they got to make that up somehow. So it's got to be the immigration crowd. So it's got to, and they're pretty locked in on the Hispanic vote. So now let's get the Muslims
out there. You mean the illegal Hispanic vote?
Yes, the illegal Hispanic vote.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what it is, because the legal Hispanics here are not voting Democrat. I don't know what they're thinking, but they're counting on those that came here illegally. Now, there's going to, of course, that there's going to be a lot of voter fraud. I don't think there's going to be as much as there was with Obama, because remember, this was a historic thing for some people, because they were focusing on his skin hue. Because remember, he still is half cracker, but they were focusing on his skin hue, and that's why they came out. Oh, look, I can say that I voted for the first black president, but they're voting for her. It does not see when they say, "Oh, this will be the first female president." Well, first of all, that's dubious, okay, whether she's female, and because she's a bad example if she is. It does not have the same impact. Remember, there was at one point, which they'll never let us forget because it's an industry, there was slavery.
Yeah.
So that's why. But there was nothing with women. Come on, this doesn't fly. It just does not. It doesn't have the same impact.
Yeah. Well, we're out of time, Audrey. I appreciate you coming on again. I know how busy you are. Let our people know who you got coming on your show tomorrow.
Okay. Actually, it is tomorrow. Sorry. I have, Mona Walter from Sweden will be back with us, and Alan West, of course, and Diana West, no relation. The author and columnist Diana West will be on. So we got two Wests and a Walter on tomorrow.
Okay, and you guys can catch her show at audreyrusso.com. And
yes, right there. You can hit the on air, and tomorrow 8 p.m. Eastern time. You can check it out on that page. Every week you come to, you'll find it. You'll find the show.
Oh, see, now I know how to promote this thing. You can catch Audrey Russo right after our show on Thursday.
Yes.
We get off the air at 5 p.m. out here in the West Coast. That'd be 8 p.m. out there. So, you can just turn us off and turn her on, okay?
And Bingo was his name-o.
Okay. All right, my dear. I appreciate you coming on again. And
my pleasure always.
Yeah, we'll talk to you again next week.
Okay, God bless you guys.
Okay, God bless you. Okay, guys, it's time to pay some bills here. We got the Edwards Notebook coming up, and then we'll pay some bills, and we'll be right back. I've got something here I'm going to float at you, just kind of off the cuff here when we come back in our short segment in the next hour. So stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. Don't go away.
Democrats have themselves made the best case possible against the election of Mrs. Clinton to the presidency of the United States of America. Hello, I'm Ron Edwards on today's page from the Edwards Notebook. During the Democrat Party convention, it was horrendous watching one progressive Democrat after another expressing hatred and spewing lies about Donald Trump. In fact, the Democrats did not utter one single word in regards to defeating the Islamic terrorists or law-breaking illegal immigrants, but were very quick to condemn Donald Trump, who legally worked his way up the ladder of success and has hired tens of thousands of workers from all walks of life. The Democrats have displayed more loyalty towards illegal immigrants than to the principle of preserving the United States' national sovereignty. Democrats even displayed their disregard for national peace and tranquility by having the nerve to justify and rationalize murdering police officers. There were plenty of verbal salvos launched at Donald Trump, however, but not a syllable was mentioned about the need to defeat Islamic terrorists who are following through on their threat to destroy civilized Western nations, including this one. I'm Ron Edwards.
You can catch all our archives at theconservativesyndicate.net. The Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives.
Prices are for base buildings only. May not be available in some areas. Attention business owners, do you want a stimulus package that really works? Before you spend thousands of dollars more than you should on your next building project, listen to this. General Steel has a stimulus package designed to help you save as much as half the cost of conventional construction on your next building. As much as half. That's right, General Steel can save you thousands of dollars with a pre-engineered steel building designed for your business or church. How about a 50 by 100 foot building for under $30,000? So don't pay thousands more than you should without calling General Steel first and save as much as half the cost and time of conventional construction. With the projected demand for steel in Japan and China, prices may be skyrocketing.
877-927-3360. 877-927-3360. 877-927-3360. Term life insurance. It can be a powerful way to protect your assets and your family. You work hard to earn and save your money to build a nest egg for the future. Don't let it get wiped out because you didn't plan ahead. Take the time now and make a small investment in $500,000 or more in quality term life insurance. Call the Term Lifeline and let us shop the best companies to give you the lowest rates. We specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. Ask about some of our 10 and 20-year fixed rate plans with guaranteed rates. Call the Term Lifeline right now for your free insurance quote. 800-870-3609. 800-870-3609. You owe it to yourself to protect your family and your assets. Make term life insurance part of that plan. Call the Term Lifeline right now. 800-870-3609. 800-870-3609.
Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosolive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosolive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did.
Read something recently worth thinking about. It's the soldier, not the campus organizer, who's given us freedom to demonstrate. It's the soldier, not the reporter, who's given us freedom of the press. It's the soldier, not the poet, who's given us freedom of speech. It's the soldier who serves under the flag, who defends the protesters' right to burn the flag. Isn't it time now to demonstrate that we support our troops? Were it not for the brave, there'd be no land of the free.
Fred Thompson's message was brought to you by citizensunited.org.
Hey, all you can do is just tell the truth and trust in the American people that over time they're going to know what the truth is.
Yes, it is time for the truth. Right here, right now. This is the Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives. With your host, John Matthews.
It's a latter-day prophet. Baying against the hypocrisies of our time.
And Joe Hakos.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
The Conservative Syndicate is comprised of some of the most informed pundits and activists available today. Together, we seek to tear down the imaginary wall of separation between church and state through education, information, and engagement on the religion of politics and the politics of religion. And now, your host on the globally syndicated Conservative Syndicate, John Matthews and Joe Hakos.
All right, hey, we're back. Hour 2 coming to you live right now, coast to coast and around the world, nationally acclaimed, globally syndicated, the Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives. I'm your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos, and we are here to educate, inform, and engage you, our listening audience, on the politics of religion and the religion of politics. You know, when we talk about, in our last hour here, we're talking about, you know, the idea, or we're talking about the claim by the left that Donald Trump was casually suggesting that somebody take out Hillary Clinton, put her in the crosshairs and get rid of her, that kind of thing. And like I said, you got to be demented to take the comment that Donald Trump made and twist it into that type of thing. And it just makes you wonder, you know, these guys, maybe they should wear hoodies in Washington, because the idea of wearing a hoodie is being able to walk down the street and nobody recognizes who you are. And if you've ever seen people, I live out here where there's a lot of hoodies, and they're always looking around. You know, their head's always bobbing. You know, is somebody watching me? Is somebody following me? You know, that kind of thing. And it's that same kind of, maybe that's why they have such empathy for the black community, the gangsters and the thugs. I'm not saying everybody in the black community, but we're talking about the Black Lives Matter and everything. Maybe that the empathy is found in, yeah, we're always worried about somebody coming after us too. You know, that kind of thing. But one of the things, I'm going to float it here in the short segment that we have here. I'm going to look at this a little bit closer. I wasn't aware of this, but Julian Assange from WikiLeaks, everybody's favorite guy outside of Edward Snowden on the left, I guess somehow inadvertently or nonchalantly, or maybe by, he wanted to point out, there was a gentleman called Seth Rich, worked for the DNC, and I guess just a couple weeks ago, shortly after the DNC hack started to surface,
July 10th.
Yeah, and he was gunned down coming out of his home at 4.
No, he was gunned down walking home from his girlfriend's house at 4:15 in the morning on July 10th.
Okay, all right. And one of the things, I caught this on Limbaugh, and that's the only reason I'm entertained. Like I said, I got to catch about an hour and a half of his show today, and he covered a lot of stuff. There has been 3 people that worked for the DNC that have died in the last 2 months that were tied, since the email leaks. And he named the other 2. I don't remember who they were. But the point being is that he was floating the idea. This is one of those vast right-wing conspiracies that everybody always accuses us of adding to the list, the growing list of people that have died over the years that have been associated or affiliated in one way or another with the Hillary Clinton or Bill Clinton, campaigns. And it always seems to be happening around some type of campaign, whether it was Bill Clinton running for governor or running for president, or during the impeachment proceedings, and now we have Hillary Clinton running for president, and people are dying. And Limbaugh floated this question out there, and I listened to it, and I thought, it's got some factual basis to it. He said, how many of you out there, I don't know how many people listen to his show every day. I know it's in the millions, but he was saying, how many of you out there have, in your lifetime, been associated with or known of somebody that has died a violent death, outside of something like a car accident or something? How many people do you know in your life have been assassinated, executed, or died at the hands of a gun, or something like that, violence, that kind of thing? And most of us would probably say never happened, or maybe one or two. My youngest sister was involved in a robbery, a liquor store robbery, and she almost lost her life. The clerk behind the counter pulled a gun and shot the guy, and he shot the clerk, and the clerk died. And my sister was standing right there when the whole thing happened. But it doesn't happen too much in the normal American's life. Maybe in Chicago, but not the average everyday American. We don't come across it that much. But when you look at the number of people who have died that had some kind of association with the Clinton campaign or the Clinton legacy.
Or the DNC.
Yeah, or the DNC for that matter, it goes into double digits. It's up there. I mean, I think there's been like 17 Secret Servicemen that have died since Bill Clinton was governor of Arkansas. Since he was president. He used to be governor, came out, got elected president. 17 Secret Servicemen have died that were affiliated or worked for Clinton or one of their people. Now, that's a big number. And what do these people die from? They die from things like suicide with a gun to the back of the head, a bullet to the back of the head, committed suicide, that kind of stuff. And so, and what got me, though, was that Julian Assange was inferring that Seth Rich was his contact in the DNC, and that the Russians didn't hack the DNC, that he was the source that came out, and he was one of Assange's sources, because he makes a comment during the interview. He says, our people are always at risk for what they do. And I guess everybody just kind of brushed over that. And so now the serious people are saying, did he just admit that the leaks came from somebody within the DNC itself and not the Russians? Wow. That's just, that's amazing. Huh? Anyway, something to think about. Maybe we'll talk about it a little bit more here when we get back. It's time to take a break. We'll be right back. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. Don't go.
A healthy attitude toward human politics will be relentlessly cynical. Consider us health food for the heart, mind, and soul. TheConservativeSyndicate.net. Real conservative talk from real conservatives.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. Then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-790-5960. That's 1-800-790-5960. Again, 1-800-790-5960. Call now.
Limited time offer, 24-month commitment and credit qualification require cancellation fee, auto pay, and paperless billing, and other restrictions apply. If you can't see the difference, why pay the difference? Switch to Dish for the best deal in entertainment. Only Dish brings you the best in entertainment for less than $20 a month. Cut the cable and don't get directed. Switch to Dish because at just $19.99, Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. It's so simple. The same channels cost less with Dish. So since you can't see the the difference, don't pay the difference. Switch to Dish for the best deal in entertainment. Get premium movie channels free for 3 months, starting at just $19.99. Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. Call now to save with Dish. Dial 1-800-600-1645. That's 1-800-600-1645. The same channels for less than $20 a month. Dish. Call 1-800-600-1645 for details.
Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosolive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosolive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did.
Read something recently worth thinking about. It's the soldier, not the campus organizer, who's given us freedom to demonstrate. It's the soldier, not the reporter, who's given us freedom of the press. It's the soldier, not the poet, who's given us freedom of speech. It's the soldier who serves under the flag, who defends the protesters' right to burn the flag. Isn't it time now to demonstrate that we support our troops? Were it not for the brave, there'd be no land of the free.
Fred Thompson's message was brought to you by citizensunited.org.
Hey, we're back. The Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives. You know, I'm intrigued. I am intrigued by the conversation that we're having right now, and I'm going to do a little bit more research on this. I caught it today off the Rush Limbaugh show as I was driving around. Had to do some errands this morning. Spent a little bit more time on the road than I really wanted to, but it was worth it. And he was mentioning this guy, what's his name? Seth Rich, I'm sorry. Former DNC staffer was killed on July 10th at 4 o'clock in the morning. I think Joe just informed us he was coming home from his girlfriend's, and they tried to pass it off as a robbery. But
yeah, except none of his wallet, his credit cards, everything else were still with him. So
yeah. So
it's a very poor robbery attempt then.
Yeah, and now Julian Assange, the guy that heads up WikiLeaks, actually made a statement when he was being interviewed in a Norwegian radio station somewhere, and he actually said that this guy Seth Rich was the informant that he had at the DNC.
Well, so Assange did say that he was an informant because everything I said, he could have been an informant. Because of the position, he was a data analyst.
Yeah, I'm looking here. I'm trying to look at the actual. Here it is. Okay, here it is. Dutch TV, and Assange said this. He said, "WikiLeaks never sits on material. Whistleblowers go to significant efforts to get us material, and often very significant risks. There's a 27-year-old works for the DNC." Who was shot in the back, murdered just 2 weeks ago for unknown reasons as he was walking down the street in Washington. And so Rosenthal, the guy that was interviewing, said that was just a robbery, I believe, wasn't it? And Assange says, no, there's no finding. And he goes, so Rosenthal says, what are you suggesting? And he says, I'm suggesting that our sources take risks and they become concerned to see things occurring like that. Okay, so he's talking about this guy that got gunned down. He said a couple of weeks ago, and I guess the date of this put it right in that time frame, and he's basically saying, there's a guy over at the DNC.
Well, he goes on to say, he says, why do you make a suggestion about a young guy being shot in the streets of Washington? And Assange goes on to say because we we have to understand how high the stakes are in the United States.
Yeah.
Okay. Our sources face serious risks.
Right.
That's why they come to us, so we can protect their anonymity.
Right, exactly. That's why he's basically saying that's why we don't tell you who they are, just for this reason. Now, there were 2 other people involved, also working for the DNC. Sean Lucas. He was shot on July 3rd. Or no, wait a minute. He served the DNC on July 3rd with a complaint and summons in a fraud action on behalf of the Sanders supporters. Remember, everybody found out that the primaries were rigged by Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And so he had served the DNC. They were going to sue the DNC for this rigging of the primary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And he was found dead on a bathroom floor by his girlfriend when she came home. Okay? The girlfriend said he was in good health.
Yeah, and Bernie Sanders got a new house.
Okay, and Bernie Sanders got a new house. Okay? John Ash, former president of the United Nations General Assembly, mysteriously passed away on June 22nd, a few days before he was scheduled to begin pre-trial meetings involving shady financial dealings involving a former Clinton crony. The 61-year-old was supposed to testify against Chinese real estate developer Nat Len Singh, who was implicated in the Chinagate scandal for funneling money to the DNC for Bill Clinton through Arkansas restaurant owner Charlie Trey. Remember Charlie Trey? We all remember that guy. Okay? So there was something going on here. All of a sudden, he died. Just mysteriously died. Okay? And so, when we talk about this list, this apparently ever-growing list of people dying associated with the Clintons that are more than, it's suspect.
Well, Mr. Ash supposedly was supposed to die from a heart attack, but it seemed to have that his throat had been crushed.
Yeah. Well, that'll give you a heart attack, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. At some point, they're saying that he actually accidentally dropped a barbell on his own throat.
He must have had the same trainer as Harry Reid, huh?
Crushed his larynx. And this is funny. This is going. It sounds the same plot line from an episode, An Exercise in Fatality from the TV series Columbo.
Oh, that got me.
Sorry.
It's okay. But I'm not real crazy about this kind of stuff when we start talking about these kind of conspiracies. But, you can't look at these numbers and not think something's going on. I started giving some credibility to this stuff when remember Ron Brown? Ron Brown was a member of the Clinton campaign.
Yes, he was. He's the former chairman of the DNC, and he was Commerce Secretary for Clinton.
Yeah, he had a cabinet position with Clinton, and the rumor was that he'd been caught in some kind of embezzlement or something like that, and he was going to blow the whistle, and he ends up dying in an air crash in Somalia or someplace like that. So
it was actually he died. Basically, it was a 737 on a trip to Bosnia, and he was while on approach to Dubrovnik Airport, and he was on the verge of being indicted and have a public stated his willingness to make a deal with the prosecutors. So when he died in the plane crash, that took care of that his ability to testify.
Yeah, wow. We had Admiral Jeremy Borda, Chief of Naval Operations. Okay, supposedly shot himself twice in the chest with two guns.
There's something about Ron Braun here too. So he couldn't testify. The very next day, his personal lawyer was murdered in a drive-by shooting, and then a few days later, air traffic controller had been in charge of during the aircraft crash was found dead, and that was declared a suicide.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you're anywhere near these things, it's not going to end well for you.
Yeah. So we have all the point is you've got this list of people that have mysteriously died for one reason or another, and some of them, most of them, very violently, something violent.
Yeah. Vince Foster, the deputy White House counsel.
Yeah. Dropping a barbell on your throat, that's straight out of the syndicate.
But this guy was supposedly committed suicide, but then how do you commit suicide with a bullet to the back of the head?
Right. What's this other one? Berta Cáceres, human rights activist, died sleeping in her home after she had named Hillary Clinton as responsible for the Honduran coup, which toppled democratically elected President Manuel Zelaya. Okay. Now, I don't know what kind of influence Hillary Clinton would have had in those days, but, it doesn't. The point being is that some of these people are pretty high profile. William Colby, the director of the CIA.
Yeah.
Wow. And you can look at it. Some of these guys were old, 60, 70, 80 years old, but some of these other people were young. How about this Suzanne Coleman? Had an affair with Clinton when he was an attorney general in Arkansas. Okay, she died of suicide with gunshot wound to the back of her head. That's a hard stretch. And she was 7 months pregnant when she killed herself. All right. There's a whole, and as I'm fanning through this stuff, I'm looking for the list of the number. Yeah, here we go. Secret Service agents: Aldo Franzosia, Captain Kevin Ernest, aircraft commander. Okay. Anyway, you get the drift of what I'm saying here. Is that there seems to be a pattern here that we can't come out, because the one thing about the Clintons, you never have the evidence to actually say this is it. I mean, unless even when you get the evidence, it doesn't work. Comey, her email has probably been hacked, but we don't know for sure. Well, we know somebody's been hacking it.
Yeah, well, here's another good one. Tom Schweitz, a Waco investigator and a candidate for governor. He died in 2013. He served as the chief of staff for former U.S. Senator John Danforth's investigation of the federal government's actions in connection with the 1993 FBI siege at the Branch Davidian compound in Waco. Yeah. Wow. Remember that one?
Yeah.
He announced his candidacy for governor 1 month before his death and was found with a gunshot wound to the left temple.
Wow. Just, it's just, I think it goes, it's just too much.
This gets a little bit too crazy how can it just be a coincidence?
Yeah. And when you think about the idea here that, people like the Clintons, Clinton came out of the Chicago machine. A lot of people don't know that. Hillary Clinton came out of the Chicago political machine. She married a guy from Arkansas. But she was bred through the same channels, that same machine that has had their hands in more dirt than probably anybody else out here during the course of, at least the last 60, 70 years. Well, since Prohibition, all right? Let's go back. That's where the syndicate came to be. The syndicate, almost like the KKK, just a different way. Just different kind of thing for a different purpose. But all this stuff is just mind-boggling to me. And what are we worried about? We're worried about the latest tweet of Donald Trump, or the latest.
Donald Trump is so horrible and out of control that we have to worry about him. Meanwhile, Hillary Clinton has exposed national secrets to foreign governments, left 4 people in Benghazi dead to die.
Right.
Lied about it. Lied about emails for her own personal convenience. But yet we have to worry about Donald Trump.
Yeah,
seriously?
That I think I think that's the biggest thing for me. The biggest thing that irritates me. You can say whatever you want about Donald Trump. Okay, in the heat of the battle, he's mentally unstable, he's arrogant. He doesn't know foreign policy. Blah blah blah. We've heard all those things. They said that about George W. Bush.
They said it about Reagan.
Yeah, they said about they're not qualified for the job because they've got no experience. Hillary's got a lot of experience at failure. Okay, so it's like, but we're supposed to grab onto this idea that somebody who's been sitting around the halls of Congress and in the White House and out there basically just doing whatever she wants to do for the last 50 years, and is I think beyond the shadow of a doubt, any real honest, maybe if we found a real honest psychiatrist or psychologist would come out and say, this woman is either sociopathic or pathological liar. Of course, maybe they wouldn't live very long after they did that.
That could be why Comey's did what he did, huh? Instead of being afraid he was going to hurt the first woman candidate for president ever, that maybe he's just afraid of dying.
Yeah. I've often thought of that. And you know when else that's crossed my mind? John Roberts, Justice Roberts, the same thing. I don't know what it is. My gut check tells me they've got dirt on this guy somewhere, somehow, either him, somebody in his family, something about this guy isn't right, and I don't know what it is. But and then of course we could even talk about Scalia. Scalia he dies after a steak dinner. He had some blood pressure problems and stuff, but just boom, he's gone. That kind of stuff. I don't know. Maybe the idea was to be able to create that vacancy that they needed. Obama wanted to get that last plank in his legacy, being able to put another liberal justice on the bench. I don't know. You never know with these people. Everything is just so extreme and out of kilter with them. You just never know what's real and what isn't.
We're reliving all this once again.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, we got to go to a break here. Let's take a breather here. I got to recollect my thoughts here. I had a couple of things I want to talk about today. I caught that at the last minute here today, and I thought, you know what? Let's talk a little bit about it. We'll talk about it later, maybe next week, once I get a little more information and I can be a little more coherent with what how I want to express this. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'll make you a deal. Give me 60 seconds and I'll give you directions to the Fountain of Youth. Okay, I'm joking. Well, kind of joking. No fountains, but youth, I got Nature's Youth and their premier anti-aging product, Nature's Youth RSF. With your sensible diet and exercise plan, Nature's Youth RSF can help you look and feel better. RSF is an all-natural amino acid supplement that supports your body to naturally increase HGH levels without any synthetic hormones. And elevated HGH levels can contribute to increased energy, improved libido, reduced body fat, and improved exercise capacity. Let's be honest. Who doesn't want to look and feel younger? Visit the newly designed website at naturesyouth.com or call 800-333-6923. That's 800-333-6923 and like them on Facebook and you'll be included in contests and exclusive offers. What a deal. Oh, speaking of deals, my time's about up. 800-333-6923 or naturesyouth.com. Who needs a fountain anyway? Call today.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
When I had a heart attack at 42, I was not sure what the future held. But a year later, the doctors could find nothing wrong with me and took me off all my medication. What did I do? I took a herbal mixture of garlic, cayenne, and a few other herbs mixed in liquid form. I now call this Extendovite. I would have never believed that a few simple herbs could actually change my life like they did. Now it's your turn to see what the powers of garlic and cayenne can do for you. For only $69.95 plus shipping and handling for a 2-month supply of either capsules or liquid, you too can begin on your path to better health. For more information, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
I've owned my company for 14 years now, and I can tell you that payroll is a 4-letter word. I hate doing it. It eats up hours I don't have, and it costs me money I could be saving. But my accountant's too expensive, and I'm not sure who to call, but I know I need help.
We're Paychex, and we take all the hassles out of small business payroll. We save you time and money. It's easy. Call, fax, or give us your payroll information securely online, and we take care of the rest. We calculate the correct taxes, manage payments and direct deposits. We even send out your checks. Payroll doesn't need to be a 4-letter word anymore. We're so sure that we can save you time and money that we'll give you a month's payroll free. Just for calling 877-663-3830. Get 1 month's payroll for free. Call Paychex right now. 877-663-3830. That's 877-663-3830.
Hey, I don't back anybody unless I believe in them. And I do believe in the value of investing in gold and silver. And the company I trust to buy my gold and silver from is Swiss America. I've been working with them for nearly a decade. I trust them, and you can too. Swiss America will help you sort through and find the best options available when you're considering investing in gold and silver coins. Listen, for over 30 years, Swiss America has been offering Americans what they want in their investments: safety, liquidity, quality, reliability, and a potential profit. Gold and silver have a place in every investor's portfolio. So, why not let Swiss America help you diversify your investment portfolio now? Call now for free information. 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907.
Hey, Bugsy, you hear the news about Vinny?
Yeah, it's a real shame he owed money to the IRS and they finally cut up with him.
Just like Al Capone.
If the IRS can get the Capone, imagine what they can do to little old Vinny, huh?
Poor cat, he was on top of the world, then bada boom, bada bing.
What Vinny needs now is an offer he can't refuse.
Hey, you got a tax problem? Does the IRS claim you owe them a bunch of dough? They can get you too. So call the tax relief line now and learn if you qualify to negotiate your $10,000 plus IRS tax debt for up to a 75% savings. Don't be like Al or Vinny and get busted. Make this free call now. Learn how you may be able to pay the IRS less.
Call now. 866-657-8474. 866-657-8474. 866-657-8474. 866-657-8474.
All right, guys, we're back, and you're listening to the Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives. I'm your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos, and Joe has something here. It fits within the conversation that we're having today about the Clintons and their ability to get through the worst that's out there. I mean, these guys have probably had a scandal in every area that any politician could have a scandal in. I guess they have covered the whole gambit, the whole gauntlet or gambit, whatever you want to call it, and none. And it's funny because if you do trace back through their time in politics, a lot of times they were on the offensive end. They're the ones out there singling other people out for the very same things that they eventually get caught doing. And Joe's got some stuff here about Bill Clinton that kind of just ties in with everything that's going on with the Clinton campaign right now for president. Go ahead, Joe. You got it.
Yeah, it's the Clintons have been like this for a long time. From the beginning, they've been like this. And what I have is Jerry Brown, the governor of California, and he is a strict conservative, right, John? He's a pretty conservative guy, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, out here, I guess by California definition, you might say that.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think he's probably a hero to the leftists all over the world. And this is from a debate between Bill Clinton and him in March of 1992, before Clinton got elected as president. And they're talking about Bill Clinton's problem, an electability problem, how Jerry Brown put it. I just like to listen to this so we can gather this a little bit, because I think this puts a lot of the stuff that we've just been talking about in context. And when you think about Hillary as well, because she's kind of mentioned in here as well. So this is Jerry Brown and Bill Clinton in 1992.
Does the question, Governor Brown, of Mr. Clinton's recent problems lead you to believe that he has an electability problem?
Yeah, I think he's got a big electability problem.
Well, what do you think it is?
I want to tell you what it is. It was right in the front of the Washington Post today. He is funneling money to his wife's law firm for state business. That's number one. Number two, his wife's law firm is representing clients before the state of Arkansas agencies, his appointees. And one of the key is the poultry industry, which his wife's law firm represents. And to read the local Chicago Tribune, There's 270 miles of Arkansas rivers that are polluted with fecal coliform bacteria and are unsafe for humans or fish. So it's not only corruption, it's an environmental disaster, and it's the kind of conflict of interest that is incompatible in the kind of public servant we expect from a president of the United States.
It doesn't sound like you could run as vice president.
No, it doesn't.
Mr. Clinton, you want to take a swing at all that stuff?
I feel sorry for Jerry Brown. I served with him as governor in the late 70s. He asked me to support him for president once.
Did you?
Of course not. You know, he reinvents himself every year or two. In 1990, he was pleading with the courts in California not to impose any limits on contributions. His law firm took $178,000 of taxpayers' money to beat a contribution limit initiative in 1990. And so I don't think you can take much of what he says seriously. Now, let me tell you this.
Well, can I just interject something? I mean, this guy just accused you of having somebody funnel legal fees to your wife and the poultry and whatever all that.
Well, his wife's law firm. It's in the Washington Post this morning.
Is it true or isn't it true, Governor Clinton?
Wait a second, Bill. You're always trying to attack.
Brown?
You never answer the question.
Mr. Brown, let him answer.
Let me tell you something, Jerry. I don't care what you say about me. I knew when Pat Cadell told me what you were going to say, and you were going to reinvent yourself, and you were going to be somebody else's mouthpiece, you would say anything. But you ought to be ashamed of yourself for jumping on my wife. You're not worth being on the same platform.
I'll tell you something, Mr. Clinton.
Now,
don't try to escape it. Ralph Nader called me this afternoon. He read me the article from the Washington Post.
Does that make it
I was
true?
shocked by it. I was shocked by it because I don't think someone in government should be funneling money into his wife's law firm.
Governor Clinton, you were poking your finger at him.
Well, so in that exchange, did Bill Clinton deny the accusations about it? He deflected and accused Jerry Brown of something. Then he took it as a personal attack against his wife. And I don't know if you noticed, and I didn't catch it right away either, but Pat Cadell, who has been on TV lately, telling us all about Hillary Clinton and what she's up to, being a former Clintonista. So I just thought it rather funny, rather just typical. This is how the Clintons operate. They funneled money towards each other. The pay for play thing while he was governor. And what they was talking about was environmental pollution. Tyson Foods polluting the Arkansas rivers from their chicken farms. So I just found it pretty typical of the Clintons to go ahead and he just attacks as a personal attack.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what's more telling to me out of that exchange was the accusation by Bill Clinton that Jerry Brown reinvents himself every election cycle.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's the pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah. And Jerry Brown has never really tried to reinvent himself. He's been a liberal since the get-go. I mean, I've lived through this guy twice.
Yeah.
And he's never tried to hide who he was.
No, not at all. It hasn't really. So Jerry does not stand there idly and takes this. So this is still part of this debate here. So here's the next part of this.
It's your turn, Governor.
Jerry comes here with his family wealth and his $1,500 suit and makes a lying accusation about my wife.
Washington Post.
That doesn't make it true.
Are you saying they lied?
I'm saying that I never funnel any money to my wife's law firm. Never.
Well, they got $115,000 in bond business from the state of Arkansas, and you told just the other day that when people lose their jobs, you know who they are. You certainly knew people in your own administration who gave out $115,000.
This nation's trying to elect a president.
That's right.
I think this is a critical issue.
Let me answer this.
Obviously.
The issue is
so Jerry comes at him with facts. Okay, so you just heard nothing but facts. This is what happened. You got this much money. This was turned around. This is what's happening. And so Bill stands there and he's like up. And this next part is priceless. Bill and Hillary Clinton. This is what I titled this part of the clip, the Clinton two-step. But this is Bill Clinton. And I also put the note in here was he's a change agent. And if you remember back from the DNC convention just 2 weeks ago, Hillary Clinton presented herself as an agent of change. Gee, that sounds like really way too familiar to me to be just coincidence. All the same stuff. And now, John, do we have enough time to play this? Is about a minute and a half. Do we have enough time?
Go for it.
Okay, so let's play this right before the break here. But this is Bill Clinton's answer to facts, mind you. This is facts, okay?
Every time I've ever run for office, because I have been a change agent, because I have worried about the problems of ordinary people, because I have given the kinds of programs that will change the lives of people. The people who run against me attack me personally. I have not attacked Jerry Brown personally. I have not attacked Paul Tsongas personally. I have not said anything about their character or their history. They have done that to me. That's what everybody I've ever run against has always done. And guess what? I win because I stand up for ordinary people and real change. And it is a crying shame that because they read the polls in the Chicago papers today, I get this kind of criticism. My wife is a fine person who has not done anything unethical. She has given tens of thousands of free dollars worth of free time to serving our state, to doing free work for the state. There's no telling what all she's done. Now, let me finish. That has nothing to do with the electability issue. In terms of my electability, I have been attacked repeatedly over years and years and years, and none of it's ever stuck with my people who are discriminating because they know that I am a change agent. The only way we can win this election is with somebody who's tough enough to stand up to the kind of garbage the Republicans throw at you, the kind of personal attacks that I've been subject to in the last few days.
Get off that dime. Can I just say that you're saying, in effect, Governor Brown, that's garbage and you know it? Is that what you're saying?
It is garbage.
Okay, let's get on to something else.
So, with the personal attack. Now, if it was a personal attack, he'd have probably went after him at that time. It would have been Juanita Broderick or one of the other people that he was sexually harassing. That would have been a personal attack.
Yeah.
Was not personally attacking. He was telling them facts that were happening by Hillary and Bill Clinton doing what they were doing while he was governor of Arkansas.
Wow. And you know, I don't know. The sad part of it all. The sad part of it all is that nothing has changed with these guys. They're you know, it's just, I guess there's more money now than there was then.
And he's gotten better at doing it.
Yeah, and they're just better at doing it. And, of course, at this point in time, the media's on their side, and even the Republican Party's on their side. So somewhere down the line here, they've convinced everybody, hey, yeah, we may be crooks, but we can get you where you want to go, so join us, you know?
Yeah, we're your kind of crooks.
Yeah.
You know, the thing with the terrorist daddy sitting behind her, Hillary Clinton, I think it was today or yesterday, is, hey, let's ask her about it. And she's like, she just laughs it off, say, hey, thanks, everybody, and just leaves, just completely ignores it. It'll go away.
Yeah.
It'll just, no one will ask me about it. It'll go away. Well, and if they say anything about that's what the Donald Trump thing was. It was a personal attack against her. He never said anything about her, but it was a personal attack against Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
They want to kill me. He's threatening to kill me. It's a personal attack.
Yeah.
Really?
Jeez, it's amazing. It's amazing. I understand who these people are. What I just can't get my head around is how people are so either naive, in denial, or gullible, or a combination of all three, that nobody is looking at this woman and saying, if nothing else, looking around and saying, this woman has been around too long. She represents everything that we're bitching about right now. But we still think she's the most qualified.
Yeah. Well, let me say something about that when we come back from the break.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. We'll be right back. A healthy attitude toward human politics will be relentlessly cynical. Consider us health food for the heart, mind, and soul. TheConservativeSyndicate.net. Real conservative talk from real conservatives.
Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardosa. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardosa Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosalive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosalive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did.
Read something recently worth thinking about. It's the soldier, not the campus organizer, who's given us freedom to demonstrate. It's the soldier, not the reporter, who's given us freedom of the press. It's the soldier, not the poet, who's given us freedom of speech. It's the soldier who serves under the flag, who defends the protesters' right to burn the flag. Isn't it time now to demonstrate that we support our troops? Were it not for the brave, there'd be no land of the free.
Fred Thompson's message was brought to you by citizensunited.org.
Let's get going here. Because we are getting short on time here. I want to give Joe adequate time to finish up what he's talking about here. We're talking about the entire Clinton legacy, I guess is the only way we can put it. I hate to use that word legacy because that has such a kind of a positive connotation to it. But nothing about the Clintons is positive.
Yeah, they're just their motive operandi, their MO, as our friends in the police would say.
Or maybe tarnished history of the Clinton family and everything that they're tied into. You had some more you wanted to put in on this.
You were making a mention about how you can't believe people don't know about this, and I was listening to talk radio today, and hear a guy call up, and he's like, "Hey, I used to watch CNN all the time, and I just started going to your show, and it's like, wow, it's an eye opener. How corrupt is our government? I never thought it was this bad. Blah 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 blah." And I'm like, going, "Where have you been? Where have you been for the last 8 years? Where have you been for the last 15, 20 years? Actually, where have you been? For crying out loud, you're just now waking up to this." And so there are people that are just now waking up to this, John. They just don't get it. Let's just face it. They've been struggling to make a living, probably for most of them, and the other ones don't really give a crap. They're out there, and all they care about is where their EBT card is going to buy them lobster and their next 40 ouncer or whatever,
Yeah.
I'm crying out loud. But yeah, there are the people out there just waking up to it. And it's hard to believe that there's that many out there, but I believe there probably are. People are out there, and they've been so apathetic for so damn long. It's like Rumpelstiltskin. Hey, it's time to wake up from your slumber party here, buddy.
Yeah, and this ties into what we were talking about earlier in the week. This idea of the Bob Costas thing. Remember, we talked about that. We mentioned a couple of times on the show here. Bob Costas is talking about the idea that there's a lot of people out there that nobody really knows how many of the disenfranchised or first-time voters or people that haven't voted in a while. And he was suggesting that if that segment of the country shows up and votes, that Trump has a very good chance of winning, and nobody on either side of the political asylum really wants to acknowledge that exists, although both sides obviously are playing to it, especially on the left. I mean, they're out there. I mean, when you're out there parading Muslims across your stage trying to garner votes from the Muslim community.
Not only Muslims, but Muslims waving a pocket constitution.
Yeah. The
Democrats care about the Constitution one bit. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
everything in their platform is against the Constitution. There's nothing in their platform that's constitutional.
No, I'm going to refer to them as the patriotic Muslims. Okay, the ones that come from that religion of peace. And they're just Americans, and they just want the dream just like everybody else. Okay, and I'm not saying that the Muslim community is not like that. I'm saying we're talking about the exploitation of demographics by the left and being able, the people on the right, the people in GOP are constantly talking about expanding the base. We got to expand the base. We got to be more inclusive, but they don't have a clue what to do. because the left has captured the narrative. And so the problem with the GOP is they really want to do what the left is doing, but they don't want to do it. The only reason they don't do it is because it would completely expose them to the sheeple that are still buying into the idea the Republican Party represents conservatism at some level or another.
Well, I put it as like this: there's so much fight in windmills. They might as well be Don Quixote. Because really, it's nonsensical. You give a good conservative message, and you'll win every time.
Yeah.
What they want to do is exactly the opposite. They want to be Democrat light, and that's what the problem is. Why would you want to have something just a weak substitute for when you can get the real thing on the other side? So what's the problem here? It's the fact that they don't understand what they believe in. Now, the ones that do believe in it, they get trounced and overridden by the establishment who wants nothing to do with conservatism.
Yeah, I've yet to hear anybody in the Republican Party right now come out and talk about the Republican platform. None of them. All they're it's all about that. We're defending who we are by attacking Donald Trump.
Yeah, you got the what's his name from Kentucky, McConnell, out there going, "Hey, look, if you guys got to do what you got to do here in the Senate, running for a re-election, I'm not going to hold you back or hold you to. You got to support Donald Trump. You guys just do what you got to do."
Yeah, and
there's an endorsement, huh?
And then we see, like, I believe it was just yesterday or so, or you mentioned it yesterday, the day before yesterday, Joe, the list of Republicans that are not going to support Donald Trump. 4 of them are on the were presidential candidates. So I guess that oath that everybody was so adamant that Donald Trump would not honor.
Yeah, the pledge.
Yeah, the pledge. That the reason the pledge was even put out there was because everybody feared Donald Trump was going to do something or say something and take away votes from whoever the nominee ended up being. It wasn't going to be Donald Trump, but we got to make sure that this guy with the voice box, this guy that can get out there and draw people into arenas by the thousands, tens of thousands, we got to make sure that we have him committed to us. And yet the ones that bark the loudest about it are now sitting silent off to the side saying, I can't do it. Jeb Bush, Lindsey Graham.
Exactly. The Bushies are the ones. These are all Bushies.
Yeah.
Well, they're all Bushies. This is all the Bushy establishment globalists right there. Boom.
Yeah.
Done.
And then
like I said, these are the same people who said, hey, vote for McCain. Hey, vote for Romney. Now they're going to give us Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Because okay, boys, go for it.
And the line, I love the line from these people. Susan Collins. The only time we hear about Susan Collins is when she's the deciding vote that gives the Democrats what they want, or she's out there bashing Donald Trump or Ted Cruz or somebody like that. And we're sitting out here listening to this woman, and they float out there the Lindsey Grahams and the John McCains. Okay, I give it to John McCain. I got to give him credit. He has not backed out of anything right now. But the point being that's irrelevant here. He's got his ass is on the line anyway. I don't think I think he's going to have a very hard time getting reelected. But I don't know. It remains to be seen. But here we are sitting here. It's not about the Republican Party is not about articulating what they believe anymore. It's about stopping somebody like Donald Trump because he is not representative of their desire to expand the party and everything else, completely forgetting about the fact that if anybody has done the job of expanding the Republican Party, it's been Donald Trump. For whatever reason, you don't have to like the guy. I don't like Donald Trump, okay? But I hate Hillary Clinton.
Yes, absolutely. I have no love for Hillary Clinton whatsoever. I know what she'll be for my country, which will destroy it.
Yeah, and it's just a matter of time. And everything he says, he doesn't articulate it well. But you don't think for 1 minute she's not going to come after the Second Amendment? Oh, damn, you'd be damn straight she's going to do it.
She's already said that.
Yeah,
she's said it.
Well, she's going to regulate the Second Amendment useless.
She's going to regulate all our rights. The First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, all of them, the Fourth Amendment, every damn amendment. requires some sort of regulation. And you know what, John? It really sucks that we got to close it up tonight.
Yeah, we got to close it up. We're coming to the end of the show here. And we want to once again just appreciate your loyalty and that you stick with us. Because, sometimes we do. Sometimes it sounds like we're rambling, but you got to follow the rambling. We always we may go in different directions, but we always end up in the same place. And that is showing and educating, informing, and engaging you, our listening audience. We thank you so much for taking the time to join us tonight. We'll be back tomorrow with more. I'm gonna be doing some research tonight. And I want to. There's just some things out there we just have to talk about that nobody really wants to talk about in depth. We're going to try to do some in-depth talk tomorrow. So visit our website, theconservativesyndicate.net. We'll be back tomorrow on the air. God bless you. We love you. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of the Conservative Syndicate, the nationally acclaimed, globally syndicated, politically incorrect talk show that seeks to tear down the imaginary wall of separation between church and state. We want to make you aware you can find and access all our show archives at our website, theconservativesyndicate.net, as well as our broadcast stations and times. That's theconservativesyndicate.net. We so appreciate you taking the time to tune in, and we so look forward to continuing to bring you the best in uncompromised talk radio available on the net today. And remember, folks, it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down in life. It only matters how many times you get up. I'm John Matthews, along with Joe Hako, signing off until next time right here at the Conservative Syndicate. God bless you, and may God continue to bless America.